Jackus, Councilman Grover,
Here.
Councilman Keenan,
Here.
Councilman Sedan,
Here.
Councilman Goldman,
Here.
Councilman Mazza,
Here.
President Gonzalez.
Here. Please stand for the prayer and pledge of allegiance led by Councilman Keenan.
Almighty God, as we legislate for our community, may a strong sense of justice and fair play permeate all we do. Above all, may we seek out your holy will. Give us the strength to follow it, regardless of all human considerations. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a regular meeting of the City Council as incorporated in the annual meetings notice of 2012, which was filed in the City Clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board on December 27, 2011, and sent to the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey. I will now open the public speaking portion of the meeting. Anyone wishing to address City Council may do so at this time.
Good evening, my name is Maria Rossi, 324 Franklin Street.
Good evening.
Good evening. I just got off a meeting and we were sitting around looking at this previous interview by Stein, in which I thought it was really funny. I thought I was looking at a cartoon show, to be realistic. That's my opinion. But, you know, we're supposed to come together and work with the Board of Education. That's at least what I came to an understanding 2 weeks ago when one of the board members, Mr. Trujillo, said that he wanted to work with everybody, that he was open to come and sit down and listen to the people. Well, the people had a town hall meeting and no board member showed up, only one, Miss Munn. Okay, she would have been the last person I expected to come, you know, seeing that she had her dealings with the law and everything. But it's a shame how we have board members that are saying that they want to work with the public, they want to work with the councilmen, but when it comes down to show up, it's a no show up. So, you know, as a taxpayer, you know, I can't bring my concerns to the board, so we try to work things out for board members to come and meet the community. And it's sad when no board member, and all we heard was excuses and saying that there were threats about tar and feathers, in which none of us knew what that meant. Then we came to investigate that board members have the time to look at NJ.com, where we know that, you know, people just talk a lot of garbage up in there. So nobody takes anything serious. So my comment is, if anybody wants to work with the community, the board members, they should not talk about it, they should show up, because it just leaves a bad taste in all our mouths. You know, knowing that in their QSAC report they have a governance part, that one of the parties say that they want to work with the community. Well, I have yet seen any board members working with the community. So next time when I do have when we do have another town hall meeting, I just hope that they find enough courage to show up, because we're the ones that vote them in, and it's our taxpaying money that's paying for the schools also. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Perkins Augusti. Is there anyone else that would like to address City Council at this time? Again, is there anyone else that would like to address City Council at this time?
Good evening. Carlos Trujillo, 116 Fulton Street, Great City of Elizabeth.
You have 5 minutes, Mr. Trujillo.
I appreciate that, Mr. President. I come to, I'm looking at the agenda here, and I have a great concern with the ability for so many handicap parking spots to be given out on such a regular basis. I'd like to know what the City Council is doing to curtail that, because that is a program that lends itself to fraud. And as you all are aware, parking is a premium in the great city of Elizabeth. With all the development over the last few years, unfortunately, where there was one family, now there are 4 families, and there is no adequate, parking isn't adequate. So I would like to see that, and I would say, especially to Councilman Roller, who I see there's a couple here in your ward, that you would address that, because that is really a concern for us down in the Elizabethport area. Parking is a premium. But more importantly, is this flyer. This came from the Elizabeth Police Department, and it looks like it was a citywide waiver. I'm hoping that it is what it is, but I'm suspect. I feel that this may be a political act now that it's campaign season. To spend $100,000 of money recovered from drug dealers and taking that from the Elizabeth Police Department to put out a glossy book like this, when the Elizabeth Police Department needs equipment or overtime, simply overtime for police officers, could have been better spent on this. I'm really hoping the City Council didn't condone this. I take it at face value when you tell me you're concerned about the taxes and the fiscal responsibility that the Board of Education has. If you sit around and you let this happen, I hope this is the first and the last one. I think the citizens in the City of Elizabeth all know how to call 911. We all know what a great job the police department is doing, and that they're understaffed. I understand the citizens don't feel safe, and perhaps that's what this was, an attempt to make them feel safer, but to let them understand the job that police can do for them. But I don't see any of your pictures in here. I don't see any names from the City Council, the elected officials of the city. I only see the mayor. And I think it's suspect in the fact that this year is a campaign year for him, and he's up for re-election, and crime is a problem, that this is sent out $100,000 could have went a long way. That's an extra patrol car. That's a lot of things. And it concerns me. It concerns me that you all just sit back and see it and don't say anything about it. I'm welcome to listen to your idea. Perhaps you have a good reason why this went out. But, I remember seeing something like this 4 years ago. So this is repetitive. 4 years ago it was nice. This year it's bigger. And it's more costly. So I would really like to hear your comments on what this is all about and this cost. I plan to hold the cost of this and come back here and discuss why those monies were appropriated. Why our police officers are out on the street risking their lives, getting this money out of the hands of drug dealers, threatening citizens of the city with violence. And then you turn around and it's a slap in the face. It's a real slap in the face. The other thing that concerns me is there's several police officers in this...
1 minute, Mr. Levine.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. There are several police officers that took the time to pose in these photos. Were these police officers on duty? Were they ordered to pose for these pictures while on duty? What's that cost to the taxpayers? That is a concern. If you're not concerned with that, then we have a serious problem in the city of Elizabeth. I think you should all be concerned about that. When police officers are pulled off duty to go and take photo ops of the mayor, I think you all have a problem. That's a fundamental problem in our city. And I know that all of you don't support this. I just wish some of you would have just have the courage to come up and say something. Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there anyone else wishing to address City Council at this time? Is there anyone else wishing to address City Council at this time? Seeing none, I close the public speaking portion of the meeting. We will now move on to public hearings.
Ordinance number 4280, amend ordinance number 3755, adopted September 13, 2005, granting Sulises LLC the public right-of-way on Monmouth Road from Westfield Avenue to the Union Township boundary to install fiber optic cable for a period of 5 years, specifically to include additional locations and extend the term of the agreement an additional 5 years.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4280. Is there anyone present who would like to speak on ordinance number 4280? Again, you've heard the reading of ordinance number 4280. Is there anyone present that would like like to speak on ordinance number 4280? Seeing none, I close the public hearing on ordinance number 4280.
Ordinance number 4281, granting encroachment permits on Lankin Engineering and Environmental Services, Monmouth, New Jersey, on behalf of Pivotal Utility Holdings, Inc., to complete soil remediation work to satisfy the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection at the former South Street manufactured gas plant at 410 South Street.
You've heard the readings of ordinance number 4281. Is there anyone present who would like to speak on ordinance number 4281? You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4281. Is there anyone present who would like to speak on ordinance number 4281? Seeing none, I close the public hearing on ordinance number 4281.
Ordinance number 4282, authorized bond ordinance in the amount of $2,200,000 with a down payment of $110,000 for synthetic turf field and improvements to the O'Brien Field.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4282. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on ordinance number 4282? You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4282. Is there anyone present who would like to speak on ordinance number 4282? Seeing none, I close the public hearing on ordinance number 4282. With the consent of my colleagues, I will disperse of the reading and other petitions and communications and reports of city officers and move on to ordinances on first reading.
Ordinance number 4283, an ordinance to amend the Katkowski Road redevelopment plan, specifically regarding 2 parcels of land along North Avenue zone for regional, retail, commercial, and service use, be modified to permit seaport intermodal uses.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4283. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Goldman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. 9 ayes, ordinance passed. 8 ayes, sorry.
Ordinance number 4283, an ordinance to amend the Trumbull Street redevelopment plan specifically to revise the permitted use in the C2 and limited light industrial zones to include natural gas petroleum filling station on a lot smaller than 1 acre, transportation and collection operations, and warehousing and trucking operations.
You heard the reading of ordinance number 4284. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Goldman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on first reading.
Ordinance number 4285, granting encroachment permit to Arcadis, Fairlawn, New Jersey, on behalf of Thomas and Betts Corporation to install 2 groundwater monitoring wells and 2 soil vapor monitoring wells in the South First Street right-of-way adjacent to the former Thomas and Betts property.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4285. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Mr. President,
Councilman Roper.
thank you, sir. At the pre-council meeting, I had asked for the map showing where these groundwater wells are going to be located. I never got it. I have no problem allowing it to just go forward at first reading, but I'd like to have it for our next
Okay. Thank you, Councilman. Are there any other comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Goldman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on first reading.
Ordinance number 4286, amended ordinance number 4163, adopted November 10, 2010, authorizing the lease agreement between the City of Elizabeth and 2
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4286. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Aye.
Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Rolo.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on first reading.
Ordinance number 4287. Authorize the establishment of a personalized handicap parking space for Antonio Alves, 227 Clark Place.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4287. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Aye.
Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Rolo.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on first reading.
Ordinance number 4288, authorize the establishment of a personalized handicap parking space for Carlos A. Rivas, 25 Cristana Street.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4288. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Aye.
Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Rolo.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on first reading.
Ordinance number 4289, rescind ordinance number 3771, adopted December 13, 2005, which authorized the establishment of a personalized handicap parking space for James C. Hankins, 624 Green Street.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4289. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Rolo.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on first reading. Public hearing and further consideration of the foregoing ordinances shall take place at the City Council meeting to be held Tuesday, February 28, 2012 at 7:30. We will now move on to ordinances on final passage.
Amendment to ordinance number 3755, adopted September 13, 2005, granting Sanises LLC the public right-of-way on Monmouth Road from Westfield Avenue to the Union Township boundary to install fiber optic cable for a period of 5 years, specifically to include additional locations and extend the term of the agreement an additional 5 years.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4280. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a final vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Aye.
Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Rolo.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on final.
Ordinance number 4281, grant an encroachment permit to Langen Engineering and Environmental Services, Elmwood, New Jersey, on behalf of Pivotal Utility Holdings, Inc., to complete soil remediation work to satisfy the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection at the former South Street Manufactured Gas Plant at 400-410 South Street.
You've heard the reading of ordinance number 4281. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a final vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Councilman Mazza.
Yeah, Mr. President, this is the last portion of our cleanup site in South Street, and the company has been doing a great job for over the years, so we're finally getting to conclusion with a well job that will probably be completed as soon as possible. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Aye.
Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Rolo.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on final.
Ordinance number 4282, authorize a bond ordinance in the amount of $2,200,000 with a down payment of $110,000 for a synthetic turf field and improvements to the O'Brien Field.
You heard the reading on ordinance number 4282. What is your pleasure?
Move the ordinance for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Mr. President,
Councilman Rowland.
I just want to thank the administration and all members of the council, Councilman Mazza and Councilman Cuesta, for pushing this through. Obviously, in today's times, there's a lot of kids out there that are playing soccer in the city. And we need to get into the 21st century. Though I coach a travel team, we play a lot of towns where they have turf fields already, synthetic turf fields. They've become a lot safer like now. And this will be the third field in Elizabeth that will move towards synthetic turf. I'm hoping that the county, from what I understand, is going to be doing a couple of their fields. And I hope the Board of Ed also does some of their fields because it's less maintenance trying to keep grass on a field that gets played all the time. And I hope that in the next 4 to 5 years we'll have all the fields done that way. And we'll be in a position to compete with other towns. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? Councilman Mazza.
Yeah, Mr. President, just like I mentioned at the pre-council meeting, this is something that is a progress for the city. I'm not going to stop the progress. Something that is actually in my area as the ward councilman, but there is still time for discussion and to, adjustment to be made. It's not going to be just one person making the choice. As you know, I'm also part of the administration as a councilman for the city of Elizabeth. I like the councilman. Who does not really need this more than I do? And I've been crying for 7 years ever since I became back as a councilman to do something done. But yeah, the 6th Ward was always left on the side toward the end for the crumbs and whatever. But I'm happy to see that somebody saw the lights. Thank God it's election time. And we hope that this field will go in the right direction. There might be alternative, but we'll see what happens when it takes place. And I'm sure that the children of Elizabeth will take benefits from something as the councilman from the first mentioned about, state of the arts. If you read also in other papers or comments from the neighbors, you have people say, well, it's over $2 million. Matter of fact, we should create 20 jobs. And instead of go natural grass. So it's probably kind of different ways in which I'm not going to be the one to stop the progress, but I'm definitely sure that there's going to be input from additional people besides whoever came up with this great idea in the last couple of months. Thank you.
Are there any other comments?
Mr. President.
Councilman Ball.
Yeah, I'd like to echo sort of the comments my colleagues, Mr. Robert, made. It's no question synthetic turf is the way to go. The amount of uses that the youth and the adults use the field, it's no question there won't be a lot of downtime on this field. And the improvement is going to take place. From what I'm told, not only is this going to improve the soccer field, it's going to be some improvement to, I believe, the playground area, color fencing, the whole line yard there. So I think it's, by improving this field, be less downtime. The kids, and they have improved the quality of synthetic turf since the past 5 or 10 years. And there's going to be an improvement, a great improvement in this area. And I'm glad to see the council from the 6th Ward about holding it up. I know you kind of had a little question about it, but this is only going to benefit the city and also his area. And I think this is just the way to go. Thank you, Mr. President.
Are there any other comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty.
Aye.
Councilman Cuesta.
Aye.
Councilman Rowland.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan. Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Goldman. Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. Ordinance passes on final. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules for the purpose of considering resolutions which
So moved, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dustin. Councilman Questa. Councilman Grover. Councilman Keenan. Councilman Sedan. Councilman Bowman. Councilman Mazza. President Gonzalez. There's 3 items. First item is letter dated February 14, 2012, from the Business Administrator requesting authorization for the proper city officials to utilize the competitive contracting process for the procurement of the service of private collection of municipal court debt. The next item, the letter is dated February 14, 2012, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting that your honorable body consider a resolution in enabling Future City, Inc. to apply to the Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program for funding for the Jackson Park Restoration Project and authorize the proper city officials to enter into a memorandum of understanding regarding the same in an amount not to exceed $250,000. The City of Elizabeth is eligible to match the proposed $250,000 grant. Council President Gonzalez is presenting a resolution submitted by the League President of the New Jersey League of Municipalities, requesting municipalities to support the New Jersey Employers Support National Guard and Reserve with their Employment Initiative program.
We will now move on to new business.
Request permission from the Director of Local Government Services to accept a dedication by writer in fiscal year 2012 budget for donations, acceptance of bequests and gifts from Hatchmont McDonald to support the annual Women's History Month. Introduce and approve the Midtown Elizabeth Special Improvement District calendar year 2012 budget in the amount of $317,187.50.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dustin. Councilman Questa. Councilman Grover. Councilman Keenan. Councilman Sedan. Councilman Bowman. Councilman Mazza. President Gonzalez.
Public hearing and further consideration to be held Tuesday evening, March 13, 2012.
In compliance with the best practices requirement, adopt a resolution for elected officials of the city to review the quarterly 2012 state fiscal year budget revenues and appropriations. In compliance with the best practices requirement, adopt a resolution for elected officials of the city to review the quarterly 2011 state fiscal year annual financial statements.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dustin. Councilman Questa. Councilman Grover. Councilman Keenan. Councilman Sedan. Councilman Bowman. Councilman Mazza. President Gonzalez.
All resolutions passed.
Authorize the award of contract to TJH Chevrolet doing business as Classic Chevrolet, Morristown, New Jersey, for the purchase of 9 2012 Chevrolet Caprices under the Cranford Cooperative Pricing System for the Police Department at a total cost of $233,168. Authorize the award of a contract to Warnock Fleet, East Hanover, New Jersey, for the purchase of 1 2012 Ford Duralift truck for the Police Electrical Bureau at a cost of $111,768. Authorize the award of a contract to Triangle Communications, Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, for the purchase of computer parts for various vehicles under the Morris County Cooperative Pricing System for the period January 1, 2012 through December 31st, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $35,000. Authorize the award of a contract to General Sales Administration, trading as Major Police Supply, Kenville, New Jersey, for the purchase of lights, sirens, and electrical wiring for 5 2012 Dodge Charger natural gas supply service agreement for the Mid-Jersey Energy Cooperative Pricing System. An award a contract to Hess Corporation, Woodbridge, New Jersey, for the purchase of natural gas for the period of March 1, 2012 through February 28, 2015 at a rate of $1.3043 of charge per unit. Authorize the award of contract to National Terminal Inc., Newark, New Jersey, for the purchase of fuel oil for the Public Works Marina for the period February 1, 2012 through July 31st, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $75,000.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusting. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedano.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. All resolutions passed.
Authorize the proper city officials to enter into an agreement with the County of Union Department of Human Services Division of Youth Services and accept a grant award in the amount of $20,000 from the Union County Youth Services Commission grant funds for the Night Watch Supervision Program under the Juvenile Justice Commission. Points of continuum disposition during the period January 1, 2012 through December 31st, 2012. Authorize proper city officials to enter into a contract with the Birdsall Service Group, Cranford, New Jersey, for professional services related to the environmental escrow hearing concerning 5981 Livingston Street in the sum of $20,500. Authorize the award of contract to Harbor Consultants, Inc., Cranford, New Jersey, to provide professional planning and engineering services to the Planning and Zoning Boards and the Department of Community Development for the period December 27, 2011 to December 20, 2011, I believe it should be 12, at a cost of $60,000. Authorize the award of contract to Solar Light Electrical Contractors, Inc., Ford, New Jersey, for traffic signal installation on Broad Street and East-West Jersey Street and traffic signal modifications at the intersection of Broad Street and Elizabeth Avenue at a cost of $277,815. Authorize the award of contract to CAP Services, Inc., Belleville, New Jersey, for the demolition and related work at 733 New Point Road at a cost of $153,750.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Just a one friendly,
Councilwoman Perkins Dusting.
thank you, Mr. President. Just a one friendly correction for December 20th, 2012. Let the record reflect the thank you. That's it, Mr. President.
Are there any other comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusting. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedano.
Aye.
Councilman Gollman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. All resolutions passed.
Authorize the award of contract to Envar Services, Inc., North Brunswick, New Jersey, to provide engineering services in connection with the preliminary investigation and design of the Elizabeth River Trail Phase 2 at a cost not to exceed $62,800. Amend the resolution adopted February 10, 2009, designating MDK Development LLC as the redeveloper of Parcel D of the Midtown redevelopment area for an office commercial project for a Fortune 500 company, which has not proceeded specifically for MDK to continue as the redeveloper of Parcel D as a residential project pursuant to Section 8D of the Midtown Elizabeth Redevelopment Plan. Authorize proper city officials to submit a contract amendment to the New Jersey Urban Enterprise Zone Authority for the use of City of Elizabeth Zone Assistance Funds to the UEZ CCTV Public Security System, specifically to extend the expiration date to December 31st, 2012. Authorize the award of contract to Johnston Communications, Kearney, New Jersey, for the purchase of equipment and the continued design of the UEZ CCTV Public Security System in an amount not to exceed $738,020.07. Authorize proper city officials to execute all the necessary documents to co-sponsor, participate, and obtain sanctioning from the USA Track and Field organization for the Run for Children to be held on April 22nd, 2012, commencing at Warnaco Park. Authorize the partial discharge of a mortgage held by the city on the property located at 183 Waters Edge Lane, which was sold by Waters Edge LLC to a qualified purchaser under the terms of home funds or sale housing. Authorize the tax collector to cancel refund credit and overbilling of taxes on the property located at 137, 139 7th Street for tax years 2009, 2010, and 2011 in a total amount of $8,141.72.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Math.
Number one, I would like to congratulate the people that are working on Phase 2, Elizabeth River Trail. I know it's going to be only $63,800, but I think we're studying in order to finalize that particular area. And it's a project that I really like to see to go through, and so our children and our people of Elizabeth will enjoy the future promenade and have a good time alongside the river, Elizabeth River. Also, the second, I would like to commend not only the administration, but finally, after 32 years that the city's been waiting to develop this area, 32 years, even when I was at large in the 80s, our administration was supposed to do something. Then the new administration came in, and for over 32 years, this area finally is going to become a reality, and that's a plus for the administration and all the council, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Abstain on the refund for taxes on property at 137, 139, 7th Street. Aye, everything else.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Baldwin.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. All resolutions passed.
Reject all bids received on January 11, 2012 for the EMS Seaburn Decon Support Vehicle and authorize the purchasing agent to re-advertise for same with revised specifications. Establish handicap parking spaces in front of the premises located at 629 Marshall Street and 624 Green Street. Delete the following handicap parking spaces from in front of the premises located at 634 Greer Avenue, 211 South 7th Street, and 217 South 7th Street. Establish liens on the properties located at 632 Trumbull Street in the amount of $15,800, 1115 Magnolia Avenue in the amount of $23,000, and 1011 East Grand Street in the amount of $16,375 for the demolition of said premises.
You've heard the reading of the resolutions. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Baldwin.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. All resolutions passed.
Establish a lien on the property located at 560 Greer Avenue in the amount of $16,500 for the demolition of said premises. Establish liens for the removal and disposal of debris on properties listed on Schedule A on file in the city clerk's office in the total amount of $5,196.69. Pay utility bills.
You've heard the reading of the resolutions. What is your pleasure?
Move the resolution for a vote, Mr. President.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Aye. Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
Aye.
Councilman Keenan.
Aye.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Goldman.
Aye.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye. All resolutions passed. Commendations. Is there anyone who has any commendations? No commendations. Memorials. We have Lucia Bonavicola and John P.
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilwoman.
Yes, can we do one for Ms. Whitney Houston? Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilman Bowman.
I'd like also add Alan Byron.
Alan?
Yeah, Byron. Yeah.
Are there any other memorials? Please stand for a moment of silence. So moved, meeting adjourned. I understand, Councilman Questa, you have an additional item?
Yeah, I'm going to vote on this resolution first, Mr. President.
They would need to be done all together.
Sorry?
Council says they would need to be done all together.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'm asking the City Clerk on behalf of the City Council to send a letter to the Acting Commissioner of Education, Mr. Sark, and also members of the legislature. And I'm doing so, I'm asking the letter to indicate that this body is requesting the state to monitor the expenditures of the Elizabeth Board of Education. I am making this request, Mr. President, because as you know, recently the Board of Education spent more than $500,000 in paying Supreme Court Justice Gary Stein, retired, to investigate the Board of Ed. This was a bogus investigation. As anyone from common sense will tell you, if you gave me $500,000, yes, I can investigate and give you the results you want as well. It must be noted, Mr. President, that Mr. Stein, Justice Stein, spent most of the press conference not addressing the issue for which he was paid, but rather stating how wonderful the board was and also attacking, unjustifiably so, I would say, Senator Lesniak and Mayor Baldwin. And that was totally uncalled for. He also, I must add, he also criticized and attacked members of the public who came forward with information. And by doing so, in my humble opinion, he was trying to silence the whistleblowers who first came forward with information. Perhaps Justice Stein needs to be reminded that whistleblowing is something that is not only acceptable, but it's also something that is legal, and people have a right to express their opinion without fear of retaliation. Mr. President, the citizens and taxpayers of Elizabeth are sick and tired of paying for the board administrations and abuse of power. Paying a law firm more than $500,000 to investigate a board's actions simply flies in the face of logic and common sense. And let's not forget a huge conflict of interest, Mr. President. The son of Justice Stein works for the Board of Education. Enough is enough. We must demand that the state take action against individuals who only care about their political life and simply ignore the needs of the children. And I must say, Mr. President, I keep saying $500,000, but from what I read in the paper, it's almost $1 million. Because in addition to the $500,000, Justice Stein himself indicated that he has yet to get paid for January and February. So that is really an absurd amount of money. In addition to that, they paid several investigators to do what I don't know. So the total amount of money that the board spent on the self-investigation over $1 million. And that is ridiculous. That has not been faced to the taxpayers of Elizabeth. Thank you, Mr.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Chairman, can we have a copy of the speech that Mr. Questa made so I could review again? Because I had a hard time understanding what he was trying to say.
Sure, Representative. I don't think Councilman would have a problem sharing.
No, and I believe the Supreme Court also took notes, so that's all the information. And this meeting being videotaped, so every word that I said was recorded. Mr. Chairman.
I have to vote. You have to know what I'm voting. He wasn't too clear to understand what he said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. President, should I repeat my entire presentation, or did you understand, Mr. President?
Yes, I did.
You understood me? Thank you, Mr. President.
I would like to get a copy, Mr. President, as
Councilman Mazza, the councilman presented his statement that he wants us to, recognize what has been done by the Board of Education, their expenditures of over $500,000 on what basically turns out to be a public relations campaign versus an investigation into corruption at the Elizabeth Board of Education. That pretty much sums it up.
Who's he going to ask? Which department?
Councilman, who did you want to send that to again?
Send that to the Acting Commissioner of Education, Commissioner, and also all legislators.
Any other comments?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Perkins.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, as my colleague made the resolution to go down to acting commissioners serve, I thought about the comments that were made by the Elizabeth Board of Education Commissioner here this evening regarding the publication for police. And I thought about it, Mr. President, because that publication is for informational purposes. And it clearly denotes where the funding from that publication derived from, which was confiscated drug money. Now, the Board of Ed seems to put out a lot of publications, Mr. President, and it does not denote where the funding comes from those publications. In addition to that, Mr. President, the speaker talked about our Elizabeth Police Department, which is one of the finest police departments in the state of New Jersey, if not America. Our police department is up to date. Our police personnel do have the proper equipment to go about in preventing and fighting crime and saving lives and protecting the citizens here in the city of Elizabeth. I take great offense to another elected official coming to our body talking about our police department. Thirdly, Mr. President, the only reason why, if we are down in numbers, is because of the current governor that sits down in Trenton, who our Elizabeth Board of Ed happily supported him wholeheartedly. And when the governor was sworn into office, he went on a direct attack against our police and fire personnel across the state of New Jersey. How dare he? How dare the speaker talk about our police department when it's one of the finest that we have in the state? It is well manned, male and female, and we constantly give out promotions when due. We recently had a class of close to 20 cadets, Mr. President, if I'm not mistaken, just last month, if I'm not mistaken. So I really take offense to elected officials coming up here trying to throw stones at our house when they live in a glass house. Mr. President, there's so many things going amiss in our public school system. If you go down to school number 1, George Washington School number 1 on Broadway, you see a lot of things awry. Even if you go to Elmora School number 12, you have children with no lockers, but we can pay close to $1 million to a smoke screen investigation. Mr. President, we have some real fundamental issues with our Elizabeth Board of Education, but you don't see us as an elected body going to the Elizabeth Board of Education meeting trying to throw stones. That's not how governance is supposed to work, Mr. President. We're supposed to truly work together for the good of the taxpayers, but not what we heard tonight. You heard someone coming up here talking about a publication which is duly needed in a growing city that we have, trying to let people know that police personnel are available, that there are neighborhood meetings going on in your neighborhood, and you can go out to them, that you can connect yourself with police detectives that will be there to work for you. Now, I don't see anything wrong with that, Mr. President. Some may call it propaganda, others may call it service. So, Mr. President, I will be supporting wholeheartedly the resolution as it was stated by my colleague, every word. Thank you.
Are there any comments? Councilman Grover?
I want to add something to Councilman's comments. Speaker also mentioned that we could have used that money for salaries. If he had done his homework, he would know that you cannot use drug money for salaries. It is not permitted under the state code. That money is for the purpose of providing information and improving our policing. And I think this brochure is right up that alley. It states clearly up there where the money came for to promote it, which was not the case with a lot of the stuff that's being sent out for the board. We don't self-promote. We're providing information in this brochure, and that's all it is. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? Councilman Pino?
Mr. President, first of all, I want to support Councilman Quest's resolution. One point that I'd like to dwell on is the Star-Ledger article said that Mr. Justice Stein interviewed 193 persons from the Board of Education. These are people employed by the Board of Education. Knowing that Mr. Stein is working at the behest of the Board of Education, it is not surprising to me that persons would feel intimidated and not want to honestly speak out and say, yes, I was approached to buy a fundraising ticket or what have you. Their very livelihood is at stake. Their mortgage payment, their rent payment, food on their table. So that is a very, very big flaw in the methodology of the report. It's glaring, it's offensive, and that alone is reason to cast a pall on the entire report. Thank you very much.
Councilman, any other comments?
Mr. President,
Councilman Sedano?
I just want to share something very brief. It's funny because I feel like I was in the same meeting as all the rest of you except Mr. Mazza, simply because I know you mentioned that the elected official, Carlos Trujillo, was bashing the police department, and in no way, shape, or form did I ever hear him bash the police department. If anything, I heard him say that the police department is a great department here in the city of Elizabeth. He just came forward and he had questions concerning the brochure. He didn't make any accusations. He had questions, and just like a resident from the city of Elizabeth, everyone is entitled to come up and ask questions. And questions is something that we're all entitled to do the same way each of us, if any of us had any concern with the report that was done concerning the investigation, you could always go to the Board of Education and ask questions. What Councilman Cuesta is doing here, to me,
Councilman, you are not to use the names of your colleagues in your statement. That is inappropriate.
Okay, that's fine. Well, the person that introduced the resolution, who's sitting right next to me, decided to bring this up, and this is pretty much, to me, a complete political stance with what's happening next to me. It's one thing to ask questions. If you're so concerned, Mr. Cuesta, I apologize. If you're concerned, council person sitting next to me, you can always go to the Board of Ed and reach out to them and see what can be done from there, from that aspect. And I know they're trying to paint a bad light on the Board of Education, but what everyone back home needs to understand is that we have a political boss who's Senator Leslie, who's constantly trying to destroy the Board of Education. And to say at the same time, I know there's another council member that mentioned all the things that the Board of Ed sends out is just self-promoting. That's false. That's false. There are informational pieces that the community needs to know about. So I'm definitely not going to support this political resolution that's next to me on the desk of my colleague, and everything else I will support except that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Are there any comments? Only once. Anybody who has not spoken who would like to speak again?
I just need a point of order, Mr. President.
Point of order. There's a point of order. What's
Thank
the
you.
point of order, Councilwoman?
I wanted to speak on the other emergency resolutions also.
But you already had the opportunity to speak, Councilwoman.
Yeah, I only spoke on one, but I didn't realize that, after the fact that,
I'm sorry, Councilwoman, but I can't allow anybody to speak a second time. Mr. President,
I'm not going to be able to support the other resolutions without getting clarification.
President,
is it a point of order?
Point of order.
Or just points of order?
Just point of order. I know voting on this as a package or is it individual pieces?
We're voting on all four portions. If you wish to abstain or not support one, then you can do that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
All four portions of what, Mr. President? I need another point of order.
It's just like every other resolution.
Right.
There are four separate resolutions, so we're going to be calling each of them separately, correct? Okay, thank you.
Well, you can indicate which one you would support or not support.
Oh, okay, I understand. Okay.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Is it a point of order, Council?
do I get a...
Is it a point of order? If it's not a point of order, then no.
Yes, it's spoken on, Mr. Council.
I didn't speak on any of the,
You have not spoken?
I didn't speak on none of the objectives that we're supposed to be voting on.
You spoke already.
Yes, he did. He spoke when council was the first one to speak. When councilman...
You spoke already.
Yeah, he did.
You spoke already. You're one of the first ones to
I
speak.
spoke, Mr. President, directly to you to clarify. I wasn't understanding what he asked you for a copy of the councilman that he's trying to do something.
You have spoken already. No. We will move on. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak?
Can't believe it.
Seeing none, roll call.
Council.
Excuse me, sir. Would you please refrain yourself from your laughter? Oh, please. Okay. Well, you're disrupting the meeting.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Excuse on the Green Acres. I on the other resolutions. Excuse on the Green Acres application. I on the other resolution.
Councilman Questa.
Aye.
Councilman Grover. Councilman Keenan. Councilman Sedano.
Yes to everything except the resolution to the state concerning the Board of Education.
Councilman Goldman.
Aye.
Councilman Manson.
I would like to say yes on the Green Acres because I know what a great job that Future City is doing. I would like to say yes on the draft resolution for the military initiative. I would like to excuse myself on the private collection of municipal court debt because I didn't get an opportunity to ask questions and to find out what are we going to be looking for, how much money is going to be involved. And I'm voting no on the resolution that will be going to the state because I did not understand the councilman what he was presenting before this body.
President Gonzalez.
Aye.